All right guys, welcome back to Nate's Bow Hunting. Last week we were putting in my last food plots of the year, my all-time favorite food plots, oats. We were putting them in the ground. We're getting ready to go to some public land in Wisconsin. I know what you guys are thinking, hunt public over private? This guy's out of his mind. Hey, watch the video guys, and you'll see why I'm choosing to hunt public over private in a couple days, couple weeks here for Wisconsin's opener. And maybe you guys can relate to it, maybe you can't, but you don't know if you don't try, guys. Let's get to it. If you love chasing big bucks, this is the channel for you. I don't own hundreds of thousands of acres. I didn't move out to Iowa. I hunt 2 small family farms here in Wisconsin. Follow along as we go over food plots and hunting strategies to take down the biggest buck in your neighborhood. We are talking, you got the Tide Wee 360 blind behind me, deer target, doing a little practicing with myself and my oldest boy who's 13. We're getting ready to go to some public land in Wisconsin. So some of you that clicked on this video must think, are you nuts? I'd die to have my own private land to hunt and set up my own parcels, put food plots in, and set stands where I want, and walk out my back door and hunt. Yeah, that's great. Why would anyone want to hunt public land versus private ground? Well, I'm going to talk about those 3 things. Why myself, I've taken down a nice buck on public. I'm going to put a little more time into it this year. I haven't had a lot of time due to work and my 3 kids the last couple years on public. But follow along with me guys. If you're not subscribed already, I'm going to be hitting public land hard here in September and probably beginning of October here in Wisconsin. And I can tell you what, there's some ginormous bucks on this public land. Yeah, it's a lot more work. All right guys, I'm getting fired up. Time this video is released, it's probably going to be first week of September already. And here in Wisconsin, we're 2 weeks away from the bow opener. Got the blind out, got the target out, doing some practicing. I got all my food plots in, my mock scrapes up, trails cut, new stands and locations. I've taken down 3 great bucks on my 2 small farms the last 3 years. And I can tell you guys right now, where am I hunting the bow opener here in Wisconsin? I'm not hunting my 2 private parcels. I am hunting public land. And I can tell you what, there is some great opportunities here in Wisconsin and several other states. You guys have watched some of the public land giants taken down. I've watched them myself. I'm gonna go over 3 reasons why, not only the opener, but probably all of September, the first 2 weeks of the opener, I am going to be hitting public land. So I am fortunate enough, I got 2 family farms I can hunt. I do a lot of food plots, all kinds of work to these farms. And yes, I am not hunting them probably the first 3-4 weeks of season. You're thinking, is this guy nuts? No, I'm not nuts. I know I can kill big bucks out here. I want the challenge of public. I want the unknown of public, what bucks are out there with no trail cameras. I want the run and gun approach of public, where you can be way more aggressive in these smaller parcels I hunt, where you get overly aggressive on small parcels. Those big bucks, they gone. Look for that fresh sign, hunt that fresh sign, jump a giant buck out of their bed, set up on that big buck's bedroom, and get after them. It's something new. It's a new challenge. I'm going to try to take down a giant on public this year. And that brings us to reason number 1, why you should hunt public hunting land opening day of season and the first couple weeks of season over private. And that is to keep the pressure off your land. If you're like me and you just got 2 small farms to hunt, you don't want to be over pressuring your farms you hunt when the big bucks aren't even moving in daylight. You're getting nighttime pictures of them. The time is not right. You're not in pre-rut yet. Unless you're super secluded and you got a giant buck, if you're after mature deer like me, and you got them moving in daylight on a bed to feed pattern in September, which if you got a secluded enough property, you can have that. I do not. Therefore, I'm not going to burn out my stands, burn out my land. I am going to go to public and get after some giants on public land, where I can be way more aggressive, burn out a spot. There's thousands of acres of public, guys. You can just go to the next spot. So I'm not worried about burning out these properties. Run and gun approach. Look for fresh sign, fresh scrapes. Hunt it, move on to the next spot the next day. Reason number 2, why you should hunt public land, not private, this year for the opener, first couple weeks of season, because it's got giant bucks. You think deer know where the property line is? Oh, this is public, I'm not going in there. They don't know what the property lines are. Yes, if there's a bunch of pheasant hunters in there and guys over hunting, not knowing what they're doing, the deer are going to move around, but those big bucks are going to be in there. A lot of these public hunting parcels in Wisconsin are literally thousands of acres. And I can tell you what, there's been some giant bucks taken down on public by me. And if you don't think there is, you're kidding yourself. So that's reason number 2. There are giant bucks just like private land, and the unknown, not running cameras on a lot of this public. You don't know what's going to be out there, so the element of surprise is always nice. All right guys, the third reason I am going to hunt public land this opener versus my own private land I get to hunt here, 2 farms. I can be way more aggressive and hunt different ways versus, you know, I know what stands on my private parcels are going to produce every single year. I know the rut loop that these big bucks are going to take. I know what stands they're going to pass by. I know what wind to sit those stands. And I got cameras out. I pretty much know what deer I'm after. I can tell you what, the element of surprise on public land, I've taken down a good buck on public, not a giant by any means. Taken down a good buck, and it was so exciting just not having any pictures of this deer. And it was the first time I sat that spot on public and I shot this buck October 5th, early October. And I shot him from the ground, and it was super exciting. These lone wolf guys, Andre and his son Cody, I've watched a lot of them. They're both great hunters. I've learned a lot from them. Their kind of approach is a good approach to take on public land. Get right in that big buck's bedroom. You find that big buck, you see where he is, you set up right in his bedroom, and you take him down and kill him. These guys have taken down some giants, record class deer using that approach. I'm not willing to do that on my 5 acres I get to hunt back here and my 15 acres at the other farm, because I burn out those stands, I blow that big buck, they're gone. If I had hundreds or thousands of acres to hunt, yes, I would hunt way more aggressively, but I'm not willing to take that chance. I've tried that on these small parcels and it usually doesn't work out. Drop a comment, let me know if you guys own your own parcels or lease or your own land. If you do hunt public, why or why you don't. I love hearing other people's thoughts on this. So public land, you can get way more aggressive. You can get right in that buck's bedroom on his scrapes and set up right by his bedding. And it's super fun, guys. And you never know what kind of big deer are gonna be out there. So that is why I'm looking forward to hunting public. If you guys hunt public and first time checking out the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to do a lot more info on public land hunting, how I hunt public with some ground blinds. I'm excited to try out the new Tidewee. Tidewee sent me a nice 360 blind. I'm excited to sit and film my oldest son in that blind, and super excited to put a little more time into public this season. At least that's the plan with work and kids. You know, I get out when I can, but I'm gonna try to hit public land a lot more this year. We're getting away from the climbers, and this thing is sweet. I've had a few different blinds. You can check it out. I'll show some images inside. My 13-year-old set it up in 2 minutes out of the box. Material seems pretty heavy duty on it. It's not real thin. And the fact you can see all around you. I've had deer and turkeys sneak up in my other blinds. You don't know they're coming. I'm lugging the climbers around with my 13-year-old. Doesn't quite have the strength yet. And to be honest, public land, I don't like carrying around a climber for miles and miles on end. Lightweight as well. You can throw it on your shoulder. We can pitch this blind up and do some ground hunting, which is going to work out better filming, especially with the kids. So all right, guys, I hope you're as fired up as me for opening day of season here, and I hope I talked you into getting out of your comfort zone, maybe checking out some public land. It's so easy to get comfortable, set your parcels up, know what deer are out there. Hey, early season, let your property sit if you just got some small parcels, and go try some public hunting. Give it a shot. You can get way more aggressive. It's a lot of fun. You never know what big bucks are going to be out there, and hopefully I talked you guys into trying some public land hunting this year. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. Share the channel with someone else. If you're a public land hunter, don't have your own private land, check out this channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more public hunting stuff as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.